Lunchtimes at Cafe Castro are always busy, but for the hard-working staff here there's an advantage. A decade ago, Sante Fe became one of the first cities in the US to put into place its own minimum wage. It means that salaries are linked to the cost of things like food and accommodation, what officials like to call a living wage.
Thank you. Was everything good?
Owner Julia Castro says it's a policy she's happy to follow.
Paying living wage to my employees is not going to affect my quality of life at all. And I'm very proud to live in Sante Fe and the way it's run and the way it treats people.
When Sante Fe, a city that depends heavily on tourism, set its own minimum wage around $3 higher per hour than the rest of the state, many thought it was a risky move. But the city's mayor says it's now part of a proud legacy, but also not a solution to all problems.
It's not the silver bullet. This is not going to help us regrow our middle class. We have to do so much more for the working people of not only our community, but the people across this country.
But some in the business community are wary of local authorities setting their own minimum wage. Al Lucero is a businessman who recently sold a restaurant, in part, he says, because of Sante Fe's wage laws.
We've got to stop letting the government take over business and telling us what to do, telling us who to pay and what to pay in order to sustain the free society that we have.
Sante Fe refers to itself as the city different, but its minimum wage policy is now being copied across the US. There are now over 100 cities with similar laws aimed at reducing poverty. A decade then after Sante Fe established its living wage, the lessons learnt here aren't radical, but nonetheless important. Despite warnings from some in the business community, the economy here didn't suffer overall, but Sante Fe's problems weren't solved either. Poverty rates, particularly among Hispanics, remain high, but many can now afford more for their families, which is an important step for supporters of a living wage. Gallacher, Jazeera, Sante Fe, New Mexico.